Hey guys, Tarek with Cyclone FPV, and I'm getting ready to do the second part of this build. It's going to be, should be going live again. I think we're going to see that in just a minute. Let me just verify and make sure that everything's up and running, so give me 1 second, please. And let me close that down, and let's go back to our page. All right, so what I'm going to be doing now is getting the second part done, and you'll see the build is right here. So there it is. This is where I left off. I kind of cleaned up the table a little bit, grabbed the rest of the parts here, and I am going to now... Oh, let me see, what the heck am I doing here? Let me open this up, and where am I? Let's see, I'm trying to get my my chat on my screen going, so at least I can see what's going on here. Okay, so that being said, I'm going to go turn on our website now, so I can see if all the streaming is working fine. It looks like it should be. All right, and so here we go. So I know I didn't. I tried to schedule this properly, but for the first day of multi-streaming, it's going to be a little bit of a headache. So bear with me as I do this. All right, so here we go. Let me get this page ready. Okay, so where we left off was I had just finished putting on the board and going over what we're going to do next, and we had put the air unit on here to make sure it fit properly. And you can hear the printers going right now. We've got some stuff coming out, but so I've got the setup going here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the wiring for the air unit and for the GPS as well. So for the GPS, we've got, let me see, we are going to do, let me look here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we should have 5 wires. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to wire the GPS right now. And the GPS, the module where it's going to sit is actually pretty as well. So we're going to put the GPS back here. All right, and I've got a special piece that we made to sit it back here. So I know that these wires are going to go something like this. I'm going to bring this up. And, you know, they're going to attach somewhere around here. This GPS is going to sit, and it's going to be enclosed with a lid. And then we're going to take these wires and run them down and go ahead and put them to the board. So I'm going to need, if I had to guess how much wire, if I bring this straight down and go across like so, I'll probably take an excess amount for now, and then if it can be shrunk down later, it will be. So let's go ahead and let me make a note here on our notes for the wiring for this. So we will take the wire and then we'll set it to about, let's see, I really think it's going to be long. We'll go 110, I guess, millimeters for now. So let me just put this down here, and we'll go to 110. All right. So make sure you cut, measure 110 off of this, and we can get this set up. Okay. So let me cut that real quick. There we go. All right. Now on the GPS that we're using, and there's a diagram I'll have on the website for you, but on the GPS that we're using, we are going to. It's the HCLRC here. Let me get this put in here and I can show you better this way. All right. Yeah, man. Hey, I told you I'm gonna start doing them nonstop. I mean, I do so much work here, Jay, and it's like I might as well go ahead and do them live or at least make videos. So you know, somewhere in what I do is what seems routine to me may help someone. So I'm like, you know what? Why not? I'd be sitting here without it, so I might as well go ahead and do it anyway. All right. So we're gonna do the following wiregram. We're gonna go the SDA, the ground, the TX, the RX, and so we're going to reverse those, and then we've got the 5-volt and the SCL. Okay, so we're going to get started. And on this board, if you want to see the wiring diagram, which may help. What's up, Bryce? All right, so what you can see here, and like I said, the labels for the pads are below the pad itself. So we're going to go with our, let me see how this is listed. For the SDA first, that's going to be right here. All right, and it's below it, which means the SDA is above it. Okay, so we're going to go to this pad right here, and you'll see this on the website. I'm adding all this for you guys, but I'm going to color that circle in right there. Okay, and then the SCL is going to go right here. All right, so we need to count. We need to go put those on. So let me go ahead and get the soldering iron on. Get everything good, and then we've got a 5-volt, so it's limited to 5-volt on the GPS. So we can actually jump onto this here, and we can go the ground here. And then we've got open ports on 5 and 6. So we're going to use 5 for GPS, and we'll use 6 for the DJI. Okay, and then we'll see what else we're going to do. And don't forget we've got our S bus that we're using as well. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row here. So it's going to go something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's going to be these 4 pins right here. So I'm going to go ahead and get this soldering iron up and ready. Oh, awesome, man, awesome. Well, listen, if you need any help, you let me know. And I'm catching up here with everything, so should be pretty much caught up. I've got a few customers I know. I've got a few guys I need to call and get some things done, but should be ready. So if you need anything, yeah, just hit me up, man. Let me know. All right, so we're gonna get these pads ready. So again, 1, 2, 3, and let's see. What did I say? We were gonna skip the first and second pad. We're skipping, so we're going 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's it for there. And then on this side, we're gonna go 3 pads down. So 1, 2, 3, and then there is a 5-volt here on the other side of the S bus. I guess I could use it, but for right now, I think I'm just going to jump these. So let's go ahead and get this ready, and we're going to tin this up and strip these wires. So move this out of the way. I'm going to take the GPS module off right now. Get my helping hands back over here. Okay, and here we go. So I'm going to strip all of these. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? All right, so let's see. I'm just getting ready to put the GPS on. You hear the printers in the background. So they are making the enclosure that I need for the GPS and for a few other things. So we'll have those ready too. And I also am going to put the I have these ones, right? These camera plates, but I have some made that will allow the camera to sit closer and won't need any spacers. Now I got to open this without getting all this crap on me, so bear with me a second. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and get these in here. Remember, don't twist up the strands until you get the flux paste on them. And then we're going to go ahead and twist these up. And again, this is the GPS unit that we're working on right now. And then we'll get to the air unit here in a second. I'm just going to twist these up first. Different styles of flowy. Oh, that'd be neat, Bryce. Why not? Why not? Flowy. I like it. Make it happen, bud. Make it happen. Again, I'm not using the goggles yet, but I may have to fall back to them at this point because this stuff's getting to be a little too small, a little too hard to see, but I'm going to fight it for as long as I can until something catches on fire because I wired it wrong. So maybe we'll give you a good show with that. All right. Okay, so these are tinned. Let's go ahead and take this off. Cut back the wires a little bit. Yes, I know. Of course, cinematic. Wouldn't have it any other way. But you are the man to talk about it, man. You have some awesome flying skills. Very nice. So you will have good input, man. Or good advice for the community, that's for sure. Alright, now, let me get this done. Just going to trim these up a little bit because they're way too long for the pads that are on this size on this board. And let's see, so where's my thing here? Based on this, we are going to go, make sure I get everything right. So we've got yellow SDA. Let me just make sure I get these done first. So let me go ahead and wire these up. We'll go from the inside out to save on space and to make it look clean. So let's start with the yellow. And again, guys, these are very small pads, so you've got to, yeah, I think what I'm going to have to do, let me see. I'm wondering if I can, you know what, I may, hold on a second. I'm sorry to have to do this, but I'm going to try to turn on this other camera right here, so bear with me a sec, because I'm going to need to use the magnifying glass for sure. And I can't seem to get in this one, so. Hang on. Cannot get this. 1 second. It's gonna be easier if I just do this real quickly. So let me not fall when I do this, please. What is wrong with this thing? Stupid, I can't get in it. I give up. Hit the thing. So we will pass on it and try not to kill myself at the same time. We'll just use these old man goggles right here, and I'll get the other camera working later. I don't have time to worry about it right now. Alright, so with my goofy glasses on, here we go. Now I can at least see. And by the way, we sell these on the website too, so if you need them, don't worry, they're discreet. We ship discreetly. We won't let anybody know how old you are. Again, we're going to get to the SDA here and SCL, so bear with me a second. Actually, I want to go with my SCL first because I don't want to have to jump over. So let me go do my, we'll do the SCL first. That's going to be our gray wire. So let me go ahead and just get it down right here. There we go. And then we can do our SDA right here. This way we're not getting close to crossing them. Okay, so those two will be fine. And then let's see, we're going to take our ground. I'm going to go ahead and use the rail back here for the ground. There we go. We're going to put a couple other things in this area as well, but for now, I'll start here. That's not going to hold without some more solder right there, so I need some solder to melt the solder that's already on here. Okay, there we go. And we're going to go put our positive on the 5-volt rail over here. This is a 5-volt max for this, so we're going to use the 5-volt rail here and make it easier. And then we have our TX. Let me make sure I get these in the right order. So our TX is going to be after the ground, so that's going to go into our RX. And we'll use 5 for this. So our white is going to be TX, which means we're going to go into the RX, which is on the opposite side over here. And then our green is RX, which means it's going to go to, see, that's what I want to avoid. I did it wrong. I don't want to cross over when I solder them, so I might hit the other wire. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the TX on first, which is the green, which is the RX. So RX to TX, don't forget. I know I get more questions about this. They say it didn't work, and then I'm like, hey, did you go and reverse them or swap them? And they forgot. People usually forget. I forget sometimes, so it happens, okay? So, all right, so that's good. That's done. I can't see anything. Oh, really? It's that bad? Shoot, let me see if I can... I apologize. I didn't think about it. Let me see if I can make it better. Darn it. Let's see. I can try to boost it. I'm not sure if that's going to help, but I'll wait to hear from you guys. It may get kind of loud, actually. I don't want to pick up too much audio on that one, but let me see if I can get that going. Is it still pretty bad? I can see if I can change the feeds, but it's going to be printing a while, so I don't know. I'll try my best to not have that interfere, but right now we're kind of stuck, so I do apologize for that. All right, so I can keep going though. I didn't know it was going to be that loud. Let me Let me get this part done. So we do have our GPS now hooked up. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get with the... All right, we'll see. Well, I'll keep checking it and see if I can get it better, okay? I'm going to try to move some of the equipment closer so you don't have to worry about it. And then when the printing stops, I'll move it back out of the way. So yeah, let's do that. And now let me go back here. Okay. So with our GPS done, the next thing we've got to do is we've got our air unit here, and I've got the diagram on our website. So if you go to our website here, and I'm going to try to show you, but I've got all my equipment right up my face right now, so hold on a second. All right, so on our wiring diagram, don't forget now the DJI Air Unit. Now this is going to be a 4S quad to start, but you can put an inverter on here, or I mean a regulator on here, if you are going to go to 5 or 6S so you don't blow it. And the regulator is going to be pretty basic. I mean, your amp pool is not going to be that big. You're running 8 watts max, so you know, less than an amp. A lot of boards, the Speedy BF7 has a 9 volt, I think it's a 2 amp pad dedicated for it, which is easy to use as well. So that shouldn't be a problem. But this board does not. And so I'm going to just tap it into the VBAT for now, knowing that it's going to be a 4S, and then I will do a regulator update if we need to, in order to go, if the owner of this quad decides to go 5 or 6S. I have a regulator here, but I don't want to put it in right now, only because I really want to go with something new and smaller. But in either case, it should be fine. All right, so looking at this, our air unit, remember it's going to sit right here. And so I don't need that much wire, to be honest with you. It's a very short run. And so what we're going to do is we're just basically going to bring this to about right here. So we can cut the excess of this other wire from DJI off, and we'll run this pad just like so. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and knock that out real quick. I'll leave a little bit to fold over, but nothing major. So that's going to go aside, and then we'll get on with this right here. So when you're wiring this up, you will do the following here. Let me just kind of just get these wires separated. I guess I should have separated them, but I didn't want them to come apart when I cut them. All right, so my sausage fingers aren't doing a good job here. Let me just go ahead and make it easier. Okay, there we go. Now, those printers are humming along. I'm sure it's loud now that I'm thinking about it. Now you got me listening to them the whole time. Okay, so look, black wire on here is ground, and then brown is labeled as signal ground. It can go to the same ground pad as the black, so let's not worry about it for right now. And then we've got, here, let me pull that, where is it here? No, maybe not. I thought I had the diagram here. It's on, I put it on the website as well, or put the instructions on the website. So we're going to go that, and then don't forget the yellow is going to go to our S bus, and then we have our TX and our RX, and they're going to be, remember, flipped over when they connect. So first thing we're going to do is go ahead and tin these up as well. So let me go ahead and strip these wires and tin them up. What's up, Romeo? I'm getting ready to install a DJI Air Unit in here. So that's what's happening right now. And apparently my 3D printers are pretty loud, so I apologize. I guess I should have run that ahead of time. And this one's sitting like 2 feet from me, so. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can get this here. Nope. 1, 2, there. There. Now it'll make sense when you see this in a second. There you go. That is the Mark Forge, one of my Mark Forge going crazy right now. That's what you're listening to. Sucks. I know, sorry. I do apologize about that. All right, there we go. We'll get that off the screen. Okay. Up north. Up north. Where's probably not that far from me. All right, let's get this ready. Okay, let's see. Here's my helping hands. Let's go ahead and solder this up real quick and get these tinned. Let me spread them out just a little bit more. All right. Okay, there we go. Now when this video is done, it will be published to the website. Hey man, I'm glad you got him, Romeo. Thank you for the business, brother. I appreciate it very much. Glad everything worked out. We'll hopefully soon both be flying around here somewhere. All right, so let me show you guys here. I'm gonna try to open another browser real quick. Let me see if I can do another thing without interrupting my other feed that's going on. So let me see if I can do this. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the page. So let me get to the Cyclone FPV website. And this page is being updated, okay? So it's like, as these videos get done for this specific build, you will see an update. Let me just get here and go there. Okay, so going here and going to tutorials. Let me make this bigger here, and then we go to tutorials. And I think I just updated this very briefly. But if I go to DJI on my topics here, actually it might be here. Let me see. And this was supposed to be for SpeedEV, but I'm actually going to adjust it a little bit. So anyways, so what you've got here is you've got your wires. This is what I'm looking for. This is my way to go back and check. So I've got my wiring diagram here, and so that's what I'm going to be looking at right now and telling what to go. So I know my gray is TX, goes to RX, my white is RX, goes to TX, and the rest of them are self-explanatory. Brown and black are going to ground. Yellow is going to my S-bus, and then red is going to my VBAT for right now because I'm running a 4S setup, and so I'm not going to go over that 17 voltage limit. So let me go ahead and get that done real quick. And for that, I'll need the old man goggles again. So bear with me a second, and we'll knock that out. All right, there we go. Perfect. Old man goggles. Here we go. Okay. So I said I was going to use TX5 for my GPS, which means I'm using TX6 for my DJI goggles, and I've got just enough. I just left myself a small enough window to be able to get that done. So let me see this real quick. Cannot see with these things. That's awesome. That's not. I got this super nerd. Okay, white goes to TX. So let me make sure I get my colors right here. So we've got. On our diagram here, we've got our TX on the left and our RX on the right. So I'm going to do the left first so I can come over it. So with the TX on the left, that means that we're going to take the RX wire, which is going to be the white wire, and attach it to the TX wire. So this is our white wire here from the DJI module. So I'm just going to cut it back just a little bit and then go super nerd on y'all and put these goggles on. That's right. And let me get back over here. There you go. Okay. So white. Go here to our TX. This is going to be our UART6. The wire's still a little long. Let me cut it back just a little bit. There we go. Perfect. And the gray will then go to our, this is our TX. This will go to our RX on our flight controller, which would be on UART6 as well, right next to it. Okay. There we go. And now we can do our battery and our ground. So I'm going to take the ground and I'm going to drop it right here on our ground bar right here. And then I'm going to take the brown wire, and I'm going to do the same. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of solder on top of that because that connection is just a little bit shy of where I want it to be for the start. Alright, there we go. Those are on good, and now we're just going to take, like I said, because this is going to be a 4S, we're going to take our power to this and go straight to our VBAT here, and then our capacitor on the battery should keep it pretty secure. Now the only thing left to do is really put on our S-bus, and our S-bus pad is right here. Let me just trim this up just a little bit. Okay, there we go. All right. For the most part, guys, that's it. All right. So now I know it's almost done. Okay, so while that's going crazy over there, I'll make sure not to run the printers again. I can't pause them right now. If I could, I would. All right. So I think what I'll do now is I'm going to go ahead and knock out the XT60 while that's going on, because I would like to glue this up and test it and make sure everything's secure on here. So I'm going to go ahead and tin the pads up for that, and I have some leftover solder here to do that with, so let me get that ready. And let's just kind of run it along here real quickly, not cook it too much, but I do need to get this to stick pretty well, and sometimes it can be a little bit of a pain. But I did tin this up, so I just need to kind of get it good and spread out evenly. So bear with me a sec, and I will knock that out. Trying to get this. I have had with some of the new pads that I've received, some of these boards of pads, I do have to kind of get through a first layer or coating, and this is what happens. It just kind of balls up on me. So I'm trying to make sure I've got a very solid connection here, and it just takes a little while for me to heat through this coating, and I don't know what has been put on here. I asked a couple of the manufacturers about it, and I don't know. I don't really seem to get a straight answer. But we'll see it separate here in just a second. I just got to kind of spread this out, and then you see how it can just kind of come off as a chunk there. So I'm not worried about where it settles right now, but I will be here in just a minute when this layer is gone. I'm going to put some more flux on here, but I've already put flux on here. So let me just get through this here real quick. Normally I don't have to do this much work on a pad, but on some of these boards lately it's been a little treacherous. All right, let me get some more flux here and see if I can make this work. And the board, the funny thing is the board's not hot. I mean, like, I can keep my fingers on here. It's not hot. The board's not cooking at all. It's just, it's absurd. But it is what it is. Let that sit a minute and then try to spread this one over. And then right about the time I think it's good, I'm going to take a piece of it and just let it kind of push it off the pad, because I don't need that much solder on there. I just want to make a comfortable layer that I can then put the XT60 plugs on. So all this extra stuff will come off. I don't really need that much solder to begin with on there. But when it doesn't stick, I'll leave little pieces on and then make sure it will, eventually I'll get through this coating and we will be good to go. All right, so I'm gonna stop there now and get my wire ready, okay? And then by the time I come back, that should be ready to go. All that coating on there is now pretty much off, so it's going to slowly start sticking here. We're going to get past all that, but now I need to get my XT60 cables ready. And so for that, they give me the piece, the XT60 plug, but not the cables. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull, let's see, I'm going to grab one here actually. This is one of the setups that we have on the website. Let me get a... give me 1 second, let me get that real quick. All right, so I'm gonna go with this AMAS XT60 plug. Hey, peace guys, we'll see y'all soon, okay? Take care, I understand everybody got to rest, guys. I appreciate y'all stopping in for a little bit. So you can find these cables on our website as well. They're already pre-made, pretty easy to go with, and pretty good quality. I haven't had a single problem with them. The only thing I want to do now is make sure that if I measure this right, we can do one of two things here. Most likely just bring this straight up if we need to. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. But we can leave a little slack so we can get to the back, and that won't be bad either because we can always zip tie it if we need to. So let's do on our notes, let's just say that we're going to make this wire, let's do 90 millimeters, which would give us, oh no, that's too long, sorry, I'm going the wrong way, hold on. Let's do 50, I think 50 might be okay, so we're going to, let's do 50 here. So I'm gonna measure 50, and let me put this on here. So XT60 wire equals 50 millimeters. Okay, so take our measuring again, get it right to there, and then cut that. All right, now let's go ahead and strip these and tin them. There we go. Okay. Those and toss them out. And before you twist up the strands, you know, you can even leave them spread, okay? I mean, it really isn't a big deal. I'm gonna get this stuff out of here. This needs to get off. Because we're gonna dip them in the flux paste, and then let's just go ahead and pinch them in there and kind of get all that flux paste in there as much as you can, and then twist them up. Okay. But on these, I will tell you flat out that if you were to flatten them, all right, to be very honest with you, I have had just as much success with that. As a matter of fact, soldering wise, it's even better. So sometimes I see people crank them and twist them so tight that to try to heat it and get the whole thing through to the board is almost impossible. Twist them a little bit, put them together, but on these your pads are big enough to where if you just kind of give it a light twist but then press it to where they're more flat, you can cover more surface area on the board that way, and you get a little bit stronger of a bond there with the solder. So just a little bit to try and help if you find that you're trying to put on your XT60 cables and you're having the hardest time getting it to stick to the pads or getting the solder to melt all the way through. Alright, so I'm just going to make sure these are coated good enough, and I'm going to kind of get them a little hotter than normal so that they'll seep through to the from the first layer. I want to get as much solder as I can, and then I'll just turn them over and start them up. Alright, here we go. Let's do the next round, and then hopefully by then our flight controller is ready to be soldered. We'll see real quickly. Okay. Let's see where we're at. Now I still got to get the solder on the ground to cover more. So I'm going to try to hit it just real quickly, see if I've got any luck with it holding on the edges. And it does. It seems to be actually doing pretty good. Now I won't know until I put some tension on it, but for now we're going to go ahead and assume that this is going to be all right. So let's go ahead now and get the power and ground soldered on. All right, so we're going to start with the power first, or the positive first. And then we'll clean up this bench here in just a minute before we continue. All right, now you're not going to press hard, right, guys? You're just going to kind of sit there and wait for the solder to hopefully catch. And if it doesn't look like it's catching, then you can just kind of run your soldering iron off, let it sit there like that. Mine's not catching very well. And then I'm just going to hit it with some more solder on the top now. And that will cause it to wrap around and pass the solder down to the pad itself, and I don't really have to press hard at all. It'll just go on its own. And as you can see, we're going to get a nice connection. And you can just take your soldering iron. I mean, I know it looks like it's getting pretty hot, but honestly, the board's fine. I mean, I can keep my finger on here. Board's not cooking at all. It's just this. This board actually is pretty good about that, and I'm not really putting a lot of pressure on this at all. I'm just trying to kind of paint the solder around to give me a very good, smooth connection here. So let me just get this on, and our positive is almost done. That should wrap it up right now. Alright, so our cable here, I've got to come back over anyway because I've got to put the capacitor on. But I just want to make sure that we're solid on this side, and it does look like it's pretty solid. And it's holding on pretty hard. All right, so we're good there. Now it's time to go to this other side. This one's going to be a little trickier, but let's see if we can get it to on with the solder that's on the board. Matter of fact, I'll tell you what, I'm going to, normally I would not recommend this, but I'm going to do it on here. So, because we're not getting much heat to pass through on this board is pretty tough. So let me just go ahead, I'm going to turn this up a couple degrees, see if I can get this to kind of push the solder through, and we should see something here in just a second. And I'm not going to press hard on it, I'm just going to wait for the solder to catch. So until you see the solder on the board melting, there's really not much going through. The wire may get hot, but the board's not. So I've got a lot here to go. The wire's pretty thick. And now I can see it's starting to attach here, so I'm going to go ahead and spread the solder out and see if we can get this to hold. I need this to stick here, and it still doesn't want to stick, so let me see what I can do. Sometimes these pads just give me the worst times. Let's see. Oh, that's the sound of one printer getting done. I need to bring this back down. Hold on a second. Get this to flatten back out. All right, now let's do this. Oh, it should be quieter now. The closest printer is finished, so it should be good. All right, so we're gonna let that cool for a minute. While that's going on, let me go grab that print and see how that's going. Oh, this will be cool. All right, let's see what this is. So, for the camera, where's my scraper? Hold on. Here it is. Okay, so what I did was, and I think this is going to work because I just modified this a minute ago, but what I did was I decided to go ahead and put a stand on here, right, like this instead, and I've got to wipe this. This is all just glue here, but this will be pretty neat actually. So I didn't want to use any more spacers, so I decided to try this and see if this is going to work, and I think it's going to be just great. So let me test this out real quick while I'm waiting for, I'll let this board cool down. I got to clean my table. And so while that's doing that, I'm going to try this print and see if this works. I kind of figured I have about a 4.5 millimeter gap with the size of this camera and the standoffs. And the camera plates. So I'm going to, I added the 4.5 to the print, so I didn't have to have a spacer. So we're going to see what happens. Okay. Let's see, so we've got 4.5, 5, 6. Let's see, so we'll go with, we try 10, which may be a little too long, but we'll see. Yeah, it's going to be long. Let me see. Try 8. I think 8. Well, 8 might be all right. All right. looks like it's going to fit nice. And then we still get then both screws for pivoting. All right, so we can loosen this one. That should give us, yeah, that's going to work good. Now I may go to a 10 actually and put in a small washer there, but I'll see. So you see with this gap right here, with this gap made up, we don't have to worry about that anymore. So it used to be that I would put spacers in there, but I started adding this, and it seems to work out actually pretty good, keep it pretty stable. So now let's get the other piece on like that and see how this comes out. Yeah, man. I mean, I was surprised to see it, but I mean, DJI stepped up to the plate, and I mean, I don't know. I think there's other companies. I really don't understand if it's that they're lazy, or that they they get so comfortable being on top that they don't continue to produce stuff. But it seems as though there's plenty of companies that could have gone digital. They just, for some reason or another, I guess I don't know. Maybe they just didn't have the technology. But it's hard for me to. It's hard because I would have thought, especially with all the cloning and everything and copying, that somebody would have had it. But I guess not. Maybe the investment's too much. I don't know. All right. So this looks like it's actually going to work out pretty good. So let me just loosen that up, put it on the plate. And I just want to see this thing function. And I'm going to now put in the second set of standoffs, by the way, because I want to bolt it down and see how it fits. So go ahead and do that real quick. Which way I'm supposed to put these, so make sure I don't put this in upside down. We'll find out real quickly. They fit both directions, I don't know. Get this cable out of my way. All right, this is actually going to fit real nice. So let's see what we got. No, I don't have to necessarily do the back ones. I'll probably just do these two. I'm not going to put the back ones in right now. I got too much work to do on this to close it up that much. But if we look at this, I think it's going to start coming out pretty nicely. So we know our GPS is coming out through the top right here, and the GPS enclosure is being printed right now, so I'll leave that back there. But this is what we did. So I've got to turn the plates around because the angles don't. I've got them upside down to fit in here. But so basically, what we've got is we've got the camera enclosure put in. So with this one, we could not have fit the second screw. It would not have had a pivot. So now that it does, now we can angle our camera. Fits in our slots just fine. Hey, thank you very much. And so we've got this good. Like I said, I've got it turned upside down. But we do get, I mean, even if you look at it upside down, assuming this was up, you'd see that you've got full range of motion there. Just right now, you'd be staring at the frame. So it looks good. The air unit is nicely tucked away here. We do have plenty of airway to pass through. And so now it's just time to go ahead and open it up and finish it up, okay? By the time I get this part done, that GPS unit should be, the housing unit should be ready to go, and then I can mount the GPS on here. And then there is a lid for that unit as well that I'm printing. So let me just get this part off here. All right. I mean, the camera's standing the right way. I just put these on backwards. But I think I am going to go ahead and kick this up to a 10mm screw. I'm going to see how it fits with the spacer. So give me one sec and just see what's the best for safety, I guess, and make sure the stuff stays on solid. So you see how we raised it though? So we've got that raised up pretty nicely. So you've got that built-in spacer there. I don't know if you can see that, but it came out pretty good. All right, so I'm gonna take the 8s out, put some 10s in, and then also go with a spacer here. I'm gonna take these, and I'll put this back, I don't need that. All right. So we've got up here. I'm going to mess it up again if I'm not careful. Yeah, DJI's, I mean, but let's be honest here. I want to say that, and I don't know, I mean, you know, you read the news, I read articles on DJI and other companies, and if I'm not mistaken, I think DJI had some pretty good funding. I don't know if I thought I read that the funding came from the government as well. I think the funding, I think investment funding is what killed everybody else. But I'll tell you, I'm a real big fan of the Parrot drone company. I think that they make a fabulous product. I think in some areas it's superior to DJI. I like their interface. When the Mavic came out and the Parrot, the Bebop came out, I was a bigger fan of the Bebop. I just thought it was out of the box, easier, better. But I mean, obviously, you know, I mean, DJI's got they got huge funding. I don't think anybody's going to argue with that, but there's definitely some controversy around them now. Whether people want to believe it or not, it is what it is. You know, I really wish that GoPro would have. I really wish that GoPro would have stayed in the game. I think they had something. I think they were onto something with theirs. It's the only one. I've got countless DJIs. Well, not countless. I probably have about. I'm going to try to count them actually. I don't know, like maybe 6 or 8 DJIs left. Phantom 4s and Mavics and whatever. I've got one Karma, and the Karma's the one I fly. I love it. It's a beast. So I'm a big fan of the Karma, man. I just wish that they had stuck with it. I think GoPro would have been phenomenal in that area. All right, but anyways, that's my story. Okay, so there you go, and this would be the right way to do it, and you can see we have full movement here. All right, so when we put this in, this will be really nice. You tilt your camera up like that. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, you can see that. All right, so all right. Now that being said, it's time to get everything else done on here. So let's get that out of the way, and let's check our wiring. I want to make sure that we're good on our connections here, and yeah, that's good. All right, so the print for the GPS housing is done, so let me grab that as well. And I'm just going to get this lid started for it, and that won't be very loud at all. You barely hear that. Let me just get that going here. Where is it? Right here. It's the print. And print. All right, so the lid's gonna print, but let me show you what we got here. Okay, so here's the housing for the GPS, right? And it's gonna go something like this. Hey, Brian, what's up? All right, so the way I wanna run this is gonna be just like this. The GPS is gonna sit right up here. The wires are gonna come up like this and go inside up through here, and that should clear without any problem. and then the unit can sit. So just to give you an idea, the unit will be sitting like so, and this will go right here. Like so, and then it will sit like this, okay? Well, I should not have plugged it in. I need to run it through here first. Okay. And so then this will be fastened down here, and then there's a lid that goes over it, and these wires will be tucked in under here. So this is pretty much done and ready to go. And let me see how I want to finish this off, because I think my wiring for the most part is all done. There's a few things I'm going to test, but I've got my glue out here, so I guess I'm going to do a continuity test real quick, and then I'm going to power this up just to see if I can get tone on it. Well, let me get a continuity test first. No, that's good. This is a Martian 220 that we have on our website. If you go under 5-inch frames, you'll see this under the 220. If you go under frames and you go under brands, you can go to TCMM and then just select the Martian. Scroll down. It may even be the first one on the page now. It's the Martian 220. All right, so let's get a smoke stopper here. And guys, if you don't have one of these, please go to our website, get one. I mean, they're not expensive at all. And they will help you, so please, by all means, find some time to do that. All right, so first thing I want to do is I'm going to use a smoke stopper so that I don't fry this thing. And everything else looks like it's clean. I'm not hooking up any other items to it, and I have no VTX right now, so good. Excellent. Okay, so far so good. Now we will go with our looking at this. I still have a cap to put on, and I am going to put a buzzer on here as well, a finder, but that takes a little bit of work because you do have to remap one of these one of these pads. So I'll deal with that in just a little bit. First things first, let me go ahead and get ready to put this GPS on. Let's see. I don't like this 3-amp tape actually, but no, it's good. It's not bad. Okay. To line this up, I want to go ahead and put these last pieces on. Do that. For this one, I'm going to do with an 18mm screw, so I need to make a note of that. So rear GPS is 18mm. Okay, that's fine. All right, I'm only going to put one in. I'm not worried about, well, actually I need to put both in, so I'll put this on straight. Okay, so the reason for that is I want to make sure I put this in the right spot. So now I can take the tape off and mount this properly. Get my fat fingers to peel this off. Hold on. There we go. And there we go. Okay, So now that that's on there, when we put the plate on there, it's going to be great, but what you can see is the wire will feed out just fine from here. So we can now take this off. The GPS will still stay on, that's not going to be an issue. The top plate is printing, but now we can make sure everything else is going to fit just fine. Let me make sure I got that lined up. Yep, just like that. Go. Perfect. And that sits nicely. AIO is ESC and FC, yeah. For the Asgard, yes it is. It's a 35 amp. ESC FC combo. All right, so that's how that'll sit. That's going to be real nice. Setup's going to be real good there. We put our LiPo here. And you still got room for your camera up front if you want to go with an additional camera. All right, so let's get that now. We'll unplug this for the time being. Move this over. And now look at the rest of our setup. Okay, so with everything else being built into the Air Unit, there's really not much else left to do here. Clean this up a little bit, add our caps. So let me go ahead and get the cap done now. Where did I put my cap? Hold on. Let me get up, I gotta get it from here. Okay. You mean the whole quad or just the DJI setup? The quad I have on the website. Okay, so here's the deal. It's not on the website actually. I have been redoing the website and I took off a lot of the kits to set them back up properly. But if you go to, let me see how I would do this. I think if I go to the search page and I type Martian 2, let me see. Here, I'm gonna try it here. Let's just see what we get. So if I go here, don't interrupt my feed here, but let's go here. If I type, and now there will be a link under drones, but drones and frames, but I don't have it right now because I'm updating this. But if I type, God darn if I could type Martian 2, let me just see if I can get this. This is it right here. So this is the page. It's not easy to click to right now because I've taken it down, but you can still see it. I think this whole setup is 1070/820. Okay. And that's with everything done like it is. So that's how you would get to that. But there will be a link eventually by tomorrow probably once this video is ready to air. Okay, so let me get that back. Hopefully that helps. I think that answers the question. Okay, so let me move this out of the way. Now, the new buzzers. I need to find these real quick. Where did my wife put the buzzers? Oh, there it is. So, as you guys know, we had an issue with the batteries on the Vi-Flies. I gave up, and so I've probably burned about 25 of them just sitting here. I can't get the battery to do anything. Okay, so we got the new JHE MCUs in. These are really easy to use, really good. And so I'm gonna just get these ready to go. And for right now, I'm just gonna wire it up as the buzzer and make sure that we've got full function here. But there is some pad work that has to be done. So I'm gonna go ahead and tin the buzzer pads up. And that is, I have a hard time seeing this, but it's gonna be my, not the last two, but I believe that I have to use the pad on the, and this is a resource issue. I believe I have to use the pad on the LED. So I have to forego the LED, which is fine. So I'm gonna go buzzer and then LED for the pad, because the buzzer pad uses the same resources as one of the LED pads, and therefore you can't activate it. It's just something screwed up. So that is a allocation issue. Whoops. Need to turn my specifically. Yes, that is correct. All right, let me get I forgot I turned my iron up too high for this, so let me go do this. Now let's go ahead and tin this part real quick. So we've got, I'm gonna take these three out. So I'm gonna go buzzer, LED, and then buzzer around over here. And I will do is, I'm just gonna wire the first two for now, make sure we get a good connection here. So I'm gonna hit that. Okay, so we've got buzzer positive right here. So I'm gonna knock that out first, since that's on the inside. There we go. And we'll do buzzer ground over here. Okay, and that looks good. So we might be done for now. So let me go ahead and power this back up. See where we're at. Good. The finder came up immediately. Okay, now I'm going to power it down. See what happens. I don't know if there's charge for these right off the bat or not, so we're going to find out. And now let's see, with that done, I guess we're good to go ahead and start spotting this up. All right, so I'm going to now do what I do with all my builds and drop some hot glue right over some of the most important connections here. All right, so we're just going to make sure that these are tacked down fully. I do not want them to budge. No movement, no nothing. I want everything else done. All right. Perfect. Hold on, I'm not done yet. Hold on. All right, so that's good. Let me take this off. Holy moly, forgot I gotta disable that. Hold on. Yeah, okay, hold on. So it should, what, 3 seconds maybe? 1, 2, 3. Nope. I didn't read on how to turn this off yet, so we're gonna have some fun here. Wonderful. Yeah? Yeah, great. Okay, done. I'll finish the connection on that in just a little bit. I just want to finish this part first. Okay, so with that done, we're gonna put a cap on now, so that worked out good. I don't know. I mean, I don't see why not. I don't see why that would be a problem. You just, you know, obviously as long as you have the regulators in place and everything else good, you should be fine. I don't see why it would be a problem at all, though. I mean, it'd be kind of neat, I guess. So you could do beast class like that. I don't see any hiccup in that at all. If somebody did have an issue, I guess I would need to know why. I mean, you know, power is not going to be the issue. I don't know. Has there been any negative comment on it? Any negative feedback on that? Okay, let's get this ready. And here we go. So I'm just going to tin up this cap real quick, okay? I'm just kind of doing it on the side here. I can tin this up and kind of get this on there pretty good, and then figure out how I want to mount it. But I just want to get something on here so I know it'll weld. Hey, thank you, thank you, thank you. It'll be, I promise you, it's going to be gorgeous when it's done. It's just going to, takes a little bit of time to make sure I get everything mounted the way I want. My goal here, I really anticipate this sitting like this. I think what I might do is try to set this off to the side. But I'm not sure I want to cross over that yet, so let me see how I want to do this. Because I could easily then just run this through. or I could just put it here and leave it up. But I don't like that either. Okay, so let me see. I want to do this in a really cool way. I've got plenty of room. So let me see when the air unit's on here, how I'm going to do this. The air unit on here, I've got plenty of room. I mean, this thing's going to sit like this maybe, or wait, yeah, that's the front, so it'll sit like this, I guess. So that's plenty of room as well. So if I did that, I could put the cap here and not really have an issue at all. Just tape that down, zip tie that down. All right, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So let's get this cap, and because I'm gonna fold the power cable up, I'm gonna try to run this cap through like this and see, let me just put a cable on it maybe. This would work too. If I did this, it would stay. I could do that. All right, so I'll do that, and I'll put a more heat shrink on here just to protect it even more. So let's do that real quick. And let's see how I want to do this. Okay, so I'm going to cut this. All right, I want to put this over here and make sure that when I go over that cable, it's definitely protected, and it is. It shouldn't be a problem. Let's see if I can find a better way. Well, you know the problem, I mean, look, I'll be honest with you, man. It's like X class, Beast class, then we got, I mean, you know, just when everybody, just when, you know, they want smaller, then they want bigger, then they want smaller, and, and you know, to be honest with you, at the end of the day, it's almost impossible to, you know, like right now, I mean, right now these smaller ones are coming in, and they're coming in pretty strong, and then soon enough people will be tired of those, and they want to go bigger. I would have liked to have seen X-Class develop more. I mean, I've got everything here for it. I had all the motors made for it, and I had all the components done, and we brought all the, and everybody kind of tanked off, and I think part of it is cost. It's way out of budget for most people, which makes sense because it's too damn expensive. It would have been nice to have seen something develop, but I think it gets like mediocre development, and then something else gets attention, and then it's kind of pushed to the side. Nowhere to fly. I mean, it definitely attracts attention. You know, and in the midst of talking with everybody about the FAA and possible drones not being, you know, drones kind of being a nuisance or upsetting everybody, I mean, going bigger just didn't seem like it was practical. But I guess now maybe we can do it again. I would like to see it happen, though. I would like to see more larger drones. And I'm not really into the tiny drone thing, and I really haven't been, which makes me like, what, the Antichrist of drones, I think, because everybody else is so into them. But I kind of like seeing the big ones go. I like that idea. Jeez, that's pretty sweet. Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm not downing it. I'm just saying it's like, you know, I want to see the limits push, man. I want to see some new things happening with the drones. Not, you know, the cinematic stuff's cool. I get it. I mean, I get it, but. You know, I try to look at things from a perspective of, okay, so in an industry, not drones, but in an industry like oil and gas or something like that, pipeline inspection, things where the future is going with drones, where they have the biggest chance. I want to see things that encourage that, and you know, being able to fly a heavy drone, a big drone, an X class or Beast class. I mean, you know, the next thing you know, you're getting calls. You're a pilot, and you're like, hey, listen, we saw you fly this one. You're able to fly really well with this. Can you fly on a rig and help us move equipment or something? I mean, but cinematic, you know, to me, it's, I don't know. I mean, it's cool. I'm not dogging it by any means. I know a lot of people love it, and I'm impressed with what I see. But I want to see more with the bigger drones too. I really do. I think that's where things are headed. I don't think cinematic is where the industry is going as far as, I think it's for fun. I don't think it's for income. And not on a level that you can't make money, but that I think it's like SLR cameras. I think you'll have a couple people that are really awesome at it who can make money, and then I think you'll have a million other people who have them and just say they can do video too. Kind of like photographers who are really good. Now everybody's a photographer because they all have digital cameras. So I don't know. That's my thing. I'm not blaming anything on anybody right now. I'm not blaming anything on anybody. All right, so I think this is going to be pretty solid here. I'm happy with the way this has ended up. Now I'm just going to heat shrink that. All right, and that will keep our capacitor in pretty good, safe shape here. So let me go ahead and get that ready. No, unfortunately, I'm not adding a crossfire. No, I'm just keeping it with DJI. Just DJI. Maybe I should add crossfire. I should consider that. I will consider it, I promise. But for right now, it's just going to be the DJI setup. Okay. All right. Let's do a continuity test again. We blow our fingers off. Perfect. Yeah, the DJI transmitter is what we're using here for this one. This will be a full DJI setup, goggles and transmitter, the whole works. All right, so with all that done, I'm satisfied with this. So now let's make it official by sealing the deal with some of our glue. And again, if you want glue, it's on our website. If you want the glue gun, it's on our website. So I don't use anything here that we don't sell. That'd be kind of shitty, right? If I'm telling you how to build this, but then I don't use my own equipment. Ooh, I could see that being a problem. All right, let's leave that on there. No, don't say that. I love TBS. Dude, Julio, don't call me out like, or no, sorry, Juan Pablo, sorry. Don't call me out like that. I got love TBS. They don't have love for me. I'm just kidding. God, I don't want to start. I was just joking. Please don't send me an email. I want to hear about it. I'll zip tie. You know what though? Let me get a cool color. I don't want to really get a cool color. I'm gonna try to keep it that orange look on there. So let me try 2 of keys. This will be cool. Pablo, you're trying to start a fight. Ain't gonna happen. I'm not gonna bite on that one. Let it go, bro. And then let me just put a little bit here for this. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Don't worry, when the build's done, all the extra glue and strings come off. But for right now, I just let it kind of dry and then I clean it up afterwards, okay? All right, so again, looks like everything's going pretty smooth. There is our last piece here. There we go. Okay. Awesome. Now, let's get to mounting the rest of this, shall we? Oh, my lid's done, I think. Yeah, this would be great. The GPS is going to come out nice. Okay, now, as for the buzzer, where the hell I put it? I gotta find it real quick, so excuse me. I don't know where I put it now. It's somewhere in this mess. Okay, so for the buzzer, I think I will just make it nice and simple and place it right here. We got nothing else going right here. I do have my DJI antennas that I need to place. I'm gonna break the whole thing just to get these damn antennas out. All right, there, thank you. To the garbage you go. Fine. Drift. Now we'll cross these here. Hey, Brad, you got it, man. When the new place opens up, you know, it's going to be pretty fun to have everybody come out, you know, and just, you know, do some work, some workshops. We're going to have some pretty cool workshops and things, so I'm really excited about that happening, and I think that's going to be a really great opportunity to meet everybody as well, so we will definitely make that happen. Make sure I don't have this camera upside down, please. Okay. All right, now. My only thing is, I'm not going to be finished with the buzzer yet because I need to reroute this, but I can at least get an idea of where we're done, or where we're going to be done. So let me just make sure that I have this right. I think what I'll do for now is I'll just tuck, I'm going to put this wire away until I finish this build. This way we can get an idea of the finished product here, because I do want to close this up and kind of get something finished for the evening. So let's do that. All right. Okay, so far so good. Wiring's put away. Everything is hidden and tucked nicely. Antennas are in. Okay, good. All right. Now let's get our finder. And I still don't know where my double-sided tape is, and it's probably right in front of me, but I don't know. So for now, I will just get this here. All right, I'm just get another roll. Well, I thought I had another roll. There we go. All right, so now our buzzer's in. Oh yeah, let me get the lid for the GPS. Well, that's pretty cool. Little, little GPS lid, and it will go on my other lid, which is over here. And then when it screws down, you see, just kind of close it off. It's just something neat that I thought I would do. I like it. I like the look. So we'll get that ready to go too. We'll bring this up. Oh yeah, attaching this is always fun. So let me see. Pins are up and up. There we go. Take that off for now. Oh, got it on the first shot. There you go. Oh my lord. Yeah, okay. So, where is the help on that one, guys? I mean, you guys, I'm sitting here looking at this going, something's not right. Something's got to give. Sure enough, yeah, it's because I've got it turned. So, let me see what I've done here. Yeah, okay, that's great. Holy well, I'm looking, it's going, wait a minute, something doesn't seem like it's going right. So let me just, woo, 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 woo. Now that is what it's supposed to go. Thank you. Wonderful. Okay, same setup. Luckily, this is identical no matter how you do it. I couldn't get the camera, to fit. I'm like, what the hell? Now I figured out why. Let's get this up. Move this around like that. There we go. Huh, now we're cooking with grease. Told you. Weird stuff happens. Let me twist this. I want to get these wires kind of tightened up. There we go. Amazing when you put the camera to the front of the quad, how much easier it fits. I can just see now. Perfect. Yep, that will do it. I'm going to use some long screws here and see if I can get these to grab. Sweet. They're going to be gone to the bottom. I'm going to put them on the bottom arm for now. That's how I did the last one, and it seemed to work pretty good. So yeah, I'll show you here in a second. But the last one I did, I kept it pretty much like this, and I got a pretty decent reception. I mean, I didn't have anything wrong with it. You know, there's a couple options here and there. We've got a couple different options with it, but for right now, it'll sit like that. Oh, you know what? These are too long. Darn it, that's too bad. It's not hitting the bottom there. Let me. I was hoping these weren't going to be too long, but just a little bit too long. Yeah, so I'm going to go with that. All right, let me go with mine then. Let's go with some 8s. let's get this one out, and then these would have been moved to 8mm. So yeah, those are just gonna do without scraping the. There. All right, so we're almost done, guys, with this part, which is, you know, all the building part of it. So I'm gonna then just punch it into beta flight so I can make sure that everything spins up okay. And then the programming of the DJI will be another video, which will be something all on its own. So I can show you guys how that goes. Most of you probably know, but for those of you who don't, we will do the setup of the DJI as well, from unboxing to registering to firmware updating. There's a new firmware update that gives you live streaming now. Going to show you guys all of that as well. Yeah, that's a Martian 2 frame, Brad. If you go to the 5-inch, go to the 5-inch frames on our website, and then drop down on TCM, the brand TCM. And then you'll see a Martian 2 220, and that's what this is. Okay, so that's it for the 8mm screws. And now we'll go put our GPS plate on and get some of this out of the way. Move all these. Hi, thanks, brother. Thank you very much. Sleep well, and we will see you soon. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it very much, I promise. So we will now shift from 18 to 20 because I forgot the top piece also needs it. So let's change to 20mm on the GPS screw, and then let's go ahead and put our GPS screws in. Make sure we got a good, I'm going to put a metal spacer, or metal washer, I mean. Oh, is it really? Oh yeah, that's a fun frame, man. That's cool. Better catch up. I don't know where you're at in your build, but you better catch up. Actually, Brad, isn't this yours? Let me see. Yeah, this is your box, Brad. Remember? I got that there. I'm going to be looking at that here tonight. I want to check that out. Okay, so we've got our GPS box, right? So this is what we did here. Made that little housing. Made our DJI mount here. And then redid the plates for the camera so that we could drop the camera lower, move it forward, and still keep the option to angle here. So you can just loosen that top screw and you get to angle it. Outside of that, the only other thing that I will anticipate, and I'm going to get these, let me get these antennas mounted real quick. So give me a second. I got to get my hands clean for that part. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to mount them with a zip tie, I think. I'm going to make this thing just glow a little bit, so might as well. Yeah, come here, zip tie. Man, I missed it. Try again. swear, if I screw this up one more time, I'll just go to tape it. Okay, now, steady hand, steady hand. I like that. I think that's kind of neat. So let's just try that. Oh yeah, it is night and day difference. It is. You're 100% right, sir. That is a huge difference. That is for sure. Okay, now last antenna and should be good. All right, I gotta see the distance between this one here. So that is going to be, the gap here is about 3 mil, and the gap here is about I can't get this ruler in here, so let's see. It's close. Let me bring this in just a little bit. Let me bring this out just a little bit. That's too much. All right, so that's looking better. I think the gap here is good. I think the gap here is good. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut these now. Okay, now the final piece. Since this is going to be somewhere here, I figured what we would do, we've got a couple options here. So I want it to have some movement, and I don't think this is actually going to get in the way. So I may not mess with this cable at all. I think just for now while I'm working on it, but I mean, it's not really long, and once the battery's here, it's going to be fine. But I guess for the sake of just keeping this cleaned up, I'm going to go ahead and maybe tie it down for the time being. But that's it. I mean, I would probably not fly it like that. I mean, I don't think it, not that it's a problem, it's just not really necessary to worry about this piece getting in the way. But for the sake of just making it somewhat normal looking. Let's go ahead and bring this here. And there it is. And there you have it. So if I can clean this desk off, we can get a look at this. And you put the landing pads on there real quick. So let me do that. And then put the silicone pad on there. Clean this real quick. You know what? Let me put the rest of these screws in because I got to put these pads on evenly. So if I could at least put the bottom screws in, then I can put the pads on evenly and we can make this thing look like a champ. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to space this right up against that. Perfect. Okay, excellent. Now I need another set of screws. There we go. I got one more bag of screws here that I'm looking for, and then this thing, oh there it is, let me take this one. Oh, actually I got it on there, so let's put this on, and here we go. In the garbage. And this quad, for building purposes, I mean for building portion of this quad is now 100% assembled and finished. Now I'll clean up the table and plug it into Betaflight, make sure nothing catches on fire or whatever. And then we will do our programming portion on another video. Let me just clean this table up. Okay, and here we go. Oh, it came out nice, guys. I'm happy with this build. I think this is going to be a great flying build. Everything on the bottom, everything's tight, secure on there. I'll put one more screw on each motor before we fly it. So now, let's just plug it in. I'm going to be very careful because I know that unit gets pretty hot. But I do want to see this thing power up. And I want to see it function in Betaflight. I don't think it's gonna, let me just give the warning now. I don't believe this is gonna interfere with my video. But earlier today we ran a test with a different quad and it did, but this one I think we're on totally different frequencies, so we should be just fine. But if there is an issue, I will say my goodbyes now. So if everything comes to a pause, hey, thank you. Thanks, Brad. If everything pauses and you lose the video, then we'll call it a night and I will start another session with this being turned on and programmed. But hopefully when I power this up, we should be okay. One last continuity check, please. Make sure I don't mess anything up. Okay, here we go. Sure. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so now we're going to use our smoke stopper, which is attached here. Wish us luck, shall you? Please, wish us luck. All right, and I need to put my on here. So let's get the motor mount or the fasteners on. Yeah, perfect. All right, let's go ahead and get our USB. And we are now on, and I will get the beta flight screen put up here for you guys so we can just see if we've got a motor run at least. Okay, so here goes. And there we go. Hope for the best. Fair enough. Our video is still clean, obviously. Yes. And now let's connect. Give us a second. Make sure that we have our stuff set. I think my computer, there we go. All right, so let's get this calibrated here. And then first thing I'll do is let me go to my configuration. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's right. Ports, let's see, we should have ESC already enabled on UART4, okay. Smart audio, no. We had, let's see, UART5 was GPS. Whoops, wrong spot. GPS. And UART6 is going to be our telemetry from the unit here. Good. So far, so good. Okay. Let's see, what else did we have? We don't need really anything else. Let me click save and reboot. Okay, and let's see what else. So now let's go and do a motor run real quick, because we know the board's turned, right? So, well, oh yeah, this will help you to figure this out. So look at what happens here, right? When I go to setup, I'm going to aim the board away from me. God, everything's on the opposite side. This is great. Which means that if I go up, this should go forward. But watch what happens, right? Because we did turn the board, so here goes. So I'm going to tilt this up, and it's going to go down to the left, which means it's going to the right up, which means the board is turned at 90 degrees. So if I put the XT on the right, then that means that the board is a positive 90 degrees. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over to our configuration, and we are going to go to our yaw setting. Where am I? Right here. And we're going to change this and the keyboard and put in 90. Okay, and that tells the system that our board was turned. Save. Now when we reconnect, now I've got it the other way. Oh boy, wrong way. So I did 90, so I've got this reverse. So let me disconnect and go back. Oh, I don't know why I disconnected, sorry. Maybe it's negative 90. Let me do that instead. Might be losing my mind. And by the way, I cannot see anything if you're typing right now because I'm looking at my computer and your comments come through on that. Now let's connect and see. Oh, yeah, I think we might be right now. Yep, and there we go. Okay, so it was negative 90, my bad. So now that we've got that calibration, now the only other things that are going to be off are the motors. So if you want to see, we're going to arm the motors real quick. I'm going to spin motor 1. Well, motor 1 is spinning, so that's good. Going the wrong direction. Motor 2 is, there you go. Motor 3, wrong direction. And motor 4, right direction. Okay, so we're going to, in BL Heli, we're going to right now to flip the motor. So we've got 4 is right, and 2, I believe, is right, and 1 and 3, yep, are wrong. So I'm going to disconnect, run over to BL Heli real quick. There we go, and let me see. And let's connect. Nope, I don't want to update right now, just hurry up. Choose that. Okay, oh my god, this has a huge update to do. All right, so I guess I might as well do that. Let me see where I'm at. I'm still okay. So I'm going to do my flash ESC. I'm going to do them all, and I'm just going to tell it to flash real quick. And while that's going on, I will switch over here and see if I have anything to look at on this side. No, okay, so far so good. And there, see how it streams from our website, so I like that. That's pretty neat. But it's going to do this huge repeat, so let me just go back over here and get to here. All right, so we're going to update the ESC real quick. Everything else looks pretty good. I mean, it's responding right. Motors sound really clean. It's going to be good. I need to put a silicone pad in here. I forgot. So let me do that real quick. Let's see, where are they? Okay, who's playing tricks? Where is the silicone pad? Well, it's somewhere, and I'll find it in a minute. Okay. Well, I guess while that's loading, I'll clean up some of this. And guys, I know, look, I get it, it's probably boring to watch all these videos. I'm doing them because I promised my customers who bought this one and the ones that I'm doing tomorrow, I said, look guys, I'm going to build it, but I want you to see it being done so that you know how it works and stuff. So, you know, if there's something that is found to be helpful to you guys, great. If it's boring, I know, I apologize, but I don't know what else to do. I enjoy it, and so I kind of like, well, I kind of like doing it, at least for the customer. They're going to like it. But if you do need anything, if you do need a video, please let me know. I've got 2 builds tomorrow to do. I've got some RMAs that I want to do live, so we can all kind of see what the problems are and if there's really problems with the boards or not. Kind of like when we put the stuff under the microscope, so we can see people soldering and I can show them exactly what they may have overlooked. All right, I'll be building some very small quads tomorrow. I really wish I had those silicone pads. I know I had them here in front of me, and I moved them when I was cleaning, and I don't know where they are, but I would like to put them on there to show you guys what that looks like. Let me see if I can find one. Oh, let's see. Anything my wife may have had for me over here. Nope. Oh, okay. So no luck with that. I have a feeling it's right in front of me, and that's why I can't see it. But there will be a silicone pad put on the top plate there to hold the battery in place. Unfortunately, I don't know how they are right now. Okay, so the ESCs are done. So now let's go ahead and reverse the 2 motors. So let me go back to ESC setup, and so we said 1 and 3. So on motor 1, we're going to go to reverse and right it. Okay, and then motor 3, I'm going to go to reverse and right it. Then we should be good. So we're going to disconnect, and now we're going to power everything off. Okay, so just power it off. There we go. Just disconnect the USB. I'm going to put it back in now. And connect here. Wait for it to catch up. There we go. Go ahead and power it up. Okay. Voltage reading is right. I have 12.6 on my AC to DC. So it's going to be, I give it a couple, 0.2, maybe 0.2, I guess. So now if we go to motors and I want to go ahead and test this out, I'll just turn them on. I know the mapping is right. I forgot with the with my smoke stopper, I cannot pull that many amps when doing that. So let me just do one at a time. So there's 1, and then 2, and then 3. Sorry, 3, and then 4. Excellent. So that part's done. The rest of the stuff I'll have to do here with the DJI when I set it up, and I'll make a video because I want to do a video just for the DJI portion. GPS, actually, we can go and look at that real quickly. I don't think we're going to get any signal now. But let me just check anyway. So GPS, and we are going to use uBlocks. Let's see, and I'm going to pick, I think it's still probably, I have to pick this because it was an issue, so we pick out of the country, but I'm going to see. Let's connect real quick and see what our GPS says. There's our GPS. Let's go to configuration, and it was just a weird issue. I don't know if that's been fixed or not, but it was about acquiring signals, and we're not able to acquire them properly. Okay, so now we're going to start seeing some signals, and if it was outside, I would be getting it better, but something to do with if I put the US on here, it wasn't going to acquire it, or something didn't work right. So we ended up putting it outside our region. But in either case, so the GPS is hooked up. We are going to see some satellite gain from this one once we have the setup outside, I guess. It doesn't get very good on inside. So let me disconnect that, turn this off. And guys, I think that pretty much is going to wrap it up for this build, for this part of this. The next part will be for the DJI section. And I think that about wraps it up. Okay, so what time do you? Okay, sorry, Brad. That's what I'm saying. I'm just doing it. So today's the first day I sent out an email on doing the live builds. So tomorrow there will be an email with the schedule for the rest of this and the other builds, or I'll probably send it out tonight. So make sure to, if you haven't yet, or if you didn't get the email, make sure to go to the website and register. But if you did get the email, then you'll get the update tomorrow. Hold on. I gotta turn this stupid thing off. I forgot. I'm hoping this is gonna be right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, and that's it. So there it is, guys. There's the build. Let me show you here. Kind of give you a close-up of it. So there it is. That is with the Martian 220, and it's got the Asgard 35 AIO flight controller, and it's got the DJI Air Unit GPS on the top. And it will have the silicone pad here for the battery. Okay, and this is Keaton. Keaton, this is yours. I'm going to finish it up and then get the software set, and then you'll be ready to go tomorrow. So that put me, I think, 3 days behind schedule, but the weather is the reason for that. So other than that, guys, if you have any questions, please, or if anything else about this, you can always email me. Please use the link at the bottom there. Go to our page and go to the contact section of the page. And then please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Those kind of things help us quite a bit. And other than that, that pretty much wraps it up. I wish you all the safest evening, a great week. God bless you guys. Spend time with your family. You never know how much time you have left with them, so make the most of it. Look for our live builds. There's going to be a lot more live stuff coming out. I'm probably going to come back right now and do a live thing on testing these RMAs and checking out some of these repairs, okay? I've just got a lot of work to do. So other than that, guys, peace, have fun, and we'll talk to you soon.